Hi team. All right, so we're gonna do a quick review and then you guys are going to plan your third meal, which is lunch. And then you're gonna answer the questions on the next page. Just make sure that you're keeping track of all of this because it is going to be your final project. So if you'll keep just a list of each meal that you're planning, it's gonna make your final project a lot easier. Okay, so here we go. Remember that one block has all three macronutrients in it. The three macronutrients are protein, carbs, and fats. In one block, there are 7 grams of protein, 9 grams of carbs, and 3 grams of fats. The average adult female is allotted 11 blocks per day, and the average adult male is allotted 14 blocks per day. When you're making your meal plan for your client, you want to make sure that the total number of blocks equals how many blocks they're allotted in one day. My sample that I'm going to be using is the adult male, who is allowed 14 blocks per day. And so I take that number and I split it up into all 5 meals. So for breakfast, I'm giving him 3 blocks. For snack 1, I'm giving him 1 block. For lunch, 4 blocks. For snack 2, 1 block, and then for dinner, 5 blocks. Then I go through and figure out how many macronutrients are in each meal. So I take the total number of blocks, multiply it by each macronutrient in 1 block, and that gives me those numbers. So they have 21 grams of protein, 27 grams of carbs, and 9 grams of fats in their breakfast, 7 grams of protein, 9 grams of carbs, 3 grams of fats in their snack 1, and so on. You want to make sure that you fill this out. All right, and then let's move on to planning for lunch. So my client has 4 blocks allotted for their lunch. I looked on the list and I found foods that I thought would be good lunch foods. And so for their protein, I chose tuna, and it's canned tuna. And so they would get, for 1 block, 1 ounce of canned tuna, but they get 4 blocks at lunch. So they're going to be eating a lot of tuna fish. And so they would get 4 ounces of canned tuna, and nobody likes to eat tuna by itself. So skipping down to the fats, I actually chose mayonnaise as their fat so that they could mix that in with their tuna. And so for 1 block, they would get 1 teaspoon of light mayo, but he gets 4 blocks. So he's gonna get 4 teaspoons of light mayo to mix in with the 4 ounces of tuna fish to give them kind of a tuna salad type thing. Now, for my carbs, I did this a little bit differently. And so now you can kind of, if you're comfortable with picking out things from the food list and you feel good, you feel like you're ready to go to the next level, then you can do it this way. If not, please, by all means, just choose one thing, multiply it by your number of blocks. But for mine, I chose 4 different carbs for their meal. And so I gave them the 1 head of iceberg lettuce so that they can make wraps with their tuna fish and mayo. So they mix up their tuna, they mix up their mayo, put it in a little iceberg lettuce wrap, and then eat that. And so it's similar to a sandwich or a wrap. And then I gave them 1 cup of tomato to also mix in there to give them that sandwich / wrap type feel. And then I gave them 2 fruits because then they kind of have a lot of variety at lunch and maybe they get full. And so they would get a 1/2 cup of blueberries and 2/4 a cup of watermelon. And so they would get all the things that they would be having for their lunch would then be tuna fish, lettuce, tomato, blueberry, watermelon, and mayonnaise. And so all of their macronutrients then create this beautiful lunch meal that they can have. All right, so your turn. You're gonna go to the next page and you're gonna answer the questions. And then you're going to create your lunch meal for your client. All right, team, let's get after it.